What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to go over how to change and replace the rotors and brakes on a 2010 Chevy Impala LTZ 3.9. So tools you're going to need is a breaker ball with a size 15 socket, 6-point. You're going to need yourself a size 27 star bit for the rotor to get out the locking screw right here. You're going to need a size 13 for the brake caliper bolts. And that's pretty much it. And you're going to need your brake pads and your rotor. Alright, first things first is you want to get yourself a flat tip screwdriver. You want to insert it in here and these holes into the caliper to collapse the pistons. This car has dual pistons. So what you want to do is just put it in there. Get a good spot. Pry it back. There it goes. Find you a good spot to put the flat tip in. As you can see, I just made a spot. Pull back and look at that gap. Next thing you want to observe is which way this brake hose goes, this high pressure hose. Since it's coming down, what you want to do is take your 13, put it at the bottom one. You want to take loose this bottom bolt here. And you want to lift up to go with the hose, not against it. Set your screw off to the side. So this is where you take your size 15 on the breaker ball. And you want to take off your brake caliper bracket bolts. Alright, once you get these two bolts here off, take them out, set them to the side. Next, you want to pull off your old brake pads. As you can see, they don't look too bad. But since we're going with the new brakes and rotors, it comes with the brake pads. So just pull off the old ones. It can be stuff on there sometimes. Alright, so I know I'm not going to do this next part right, but I don't plan on leaving it off too long. So just take your caliper off with your bracket, all one piece, set it to the side. I know y'all gonna say, oh, don't do that with the brake hose. Well, it won't be off too long. Next, you're gonna take your little Torx bit or star bit, T27, and you're gonna take out this bolt right here for the rotor. All right, once you get this screw out, you're gonna set it to the side with the rest of the other ones, and this is where you take off your rotor. It just slides off. The reason I'm replacing it because I took a trip to Colorado, up and down the mountains, and she's warped. Plus the other side hub bearing almost came off on me, so yeah. So you just want to make sure your heat shield here is not going to be pushing forward. When you put your new rotor on, you don't want them to be rubbing, no contact. And while you're here, you just want to verify that your hub bearing bolts right here, 1, 2, and 3 back on the back side are still in place. Had an experience about 2 weeks ago. Freaking bolts was backing off. Alright, so you're going to take your rotor. And remember that screw you took out? On the rotor, there's a little hole right there. This hole. So you're going to take this, line it up with that hole. Alright, so once you reinstall the rotor, you want to put the screw back in it. Please do not use an impact gun or anything like that to take off or reinstall this screw. You don't want to strip it. If you strip it, good luck getting it off, buddy. You have to get you an impact screwdriver or something and work it off. You don't have to be super tight, just snug it good, and that's all you need to do. Alright, so now we're going to reinstall the brake caliper, same as before. Just take it, slide it over the rotor, lift up your brake caliper, reinstall the shim if it comes off, just don't damage it. And you're going to line up your two bolts. 1 second. Okay, once you reinstall your two brake caliper bolts, you just want to get your breaker bar. Just verify that it's nice and tight. Most people are like, hey, you need to get a torque wrench and torque the spec. Well, this is me torquing at the spec right now. Come up to the other one. Slide at the bottom one's good. Come up to this one. All right. Brake caliper bracket is on. Now it's time to put your new brake pads on. How these go is just go with the rotation of the rotor. Most people put a little bit of grease here and here, just for that squeaking sound. But I've already have the grease, so I'm good to go. Okay, once you reinstall your brake pads, I'm going to take your caliper and just bring it on down. Just got to work that guide pin over, and there we go. Just line it up, bam. Ready to put this screw back in it. Size 13 on the impact. Make sure it's tight. Tight. Always double check and verify. Get your ratchet. Like I said, these things are supposed to be torqued to certain specs, but here's my torquing right here. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, that ain't coming off. All right, and then now you just put your wheel back on. 1 second. All right, so one more thing you can check before you go is just to verify that your ABS wheel sensor is in a good spot right here. Make sure it's not rubbing up against the CV axle. It's that cable right there. Looks good. You don't want no ABS light popping on for brakes. All right, so let's take the tire and put it back on. All right, so now that we've got the tire back in place, you can get your old famous impact gun or tire lug nut or whatever you call it. Put them back on. I like to X pattern them. And then you're gonna get your brake ball or tire lug nut, wrench, whatever you call it. And you just want to verify and check with the wheels on the ground. So safety first, always have a jack stand. So let's go ahead and lower it down. Oh shit, gotta take the jack stand off. Jack stand comes off. Lower it down to the ground. Before you do anything else, you just want to verify that your brake fluid is good. Oh yeah, we're way up there. All right, don't forget to step in the car before you do anything else with the car off. Let's go prime with the brakes. All right. What you want to do is just get in here with the car off, pump the brakes till they get hard. Oh yeah. That's nice and hard, baby. Oh yeah. Start it up. Pump the pedal. That just gets the calipers preset. Alright, turn it off. Pump it again until it gets nice and hard. And that's it. Brakes are primed and ready to roll. And then you just got to come over here, double check your lugs, and you're good to go. So thank you for watching how to replace your lugs and brake pads on a 2010 Chevy Impala LTZ 3.9.